Okay, so this is video blog number 2, and just before I start, I just have to say how weird I'm thinking about this book so far, because first page I opened was this. As you can see, wait, kind of freaked me out a bit. So yeah, just sharing that. Alright, well, reading the first chapter, well, I have to admit it was kind of boring. Maybe because I was sleepy, I found it boring, but it was interesting towards the end, but yeah. What I found interesting most was the whole Luther Blissett character and Darko Maver, I think I'm saying that right. How basically they're artists, made by Eva and Franco. Well, Luther isn't, what they used his name and made information about him. Um, One thing that I thought was pretty cool that I found in the book, I have it in my notes. Basically that Luther taught Eva and Franco that reality is not something fixed and unchangeable, but it exists only in our perception. So I wrote that quote down because while I was reading, because it was interesting and kind of made me think about the lectures that's been going on the past 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. Well, questions that I consider about the artist is that basically reality is weird because fake things can be real as well, like dreams and Inception. And here with these artists are the art they made, which I kind of read ahead and saw that Darko would make mannequins that were positioned as murder or death scenes, I guess, and that's kind of interesting because they look realistic. um, and yeah, I kind of found it strange that even Franco stole the art because that's not something you would do every day. That's pretty interesting. And what it says about art, well, what I think is that art can be made of random stuff. Like I could probably, well, art doesn't have to be complete to be art. Different pieces of art combined can make art. So if a piece of maybe like the Mona Lisa was combined with like something from Michelangelo or something, it probably would be art, uh, from looking in the perspective that what Eva and Franco did. Well, I also found it weird that they made their own newspaper headlines and movie posters, which is kind of weird. And I don't really think anybody would think that. I mean, it just shows how weak minded a lot, or not weak minded, but oblivious most people are to believing simple media things like that, such as thinking that actually the war in Iraq was over and that a movie like that would be made, which is kind of funny because my mom saw my book and I actually thought that the well, I don't know the name of the movie that they came up with, but she actually thought it was a real movie, which is funny. As for net art, that's interesting because it's internet art, obviously digital art that can be shared through the internet. So that's, I guess a lot of people have been doing that since of the whole, not, I could say, discovery of the internet and its uses that it can be. And their whole art life sharing is comparing it to social websites and internet that we have now, is that, well, with the internet and all its websites, we share our stuff together, through Facebook, YouTube, Facebook. I said that already, didn't I? Twitter, the dead MySpace. You share photos, videos, words, thoughts, basically anything, and that's what Eva and Franco were doing with their art. Um, or I should say, life sharing. Second Life. Second Life. Yeah, that's kind of. Yeah, Second Life, well, as it says in its name, is a second life. And again, shows that reality is. Can be copied and made real as their portraits that they took, the photos, like, I guess I could look through my book. I'm trying to find some. That's almost found one. Their photo right here. They look like real people, which is, yeah, there. They look like real people, kind of digital wise. So it could be shown that Second Life is somewhat of a reality in some ways. Um, Nike ground. That actually made me laugh. That um, shows that corporations in our culture are like this, and most people don't know about it. Yeah, examples would be most people have one of these. Can't really live without these. Many people have these. Well, not the exact one like mine, which is a couple years old, but something from this corporation called Apple. But yeah, it shows that we're one. I mean, this is our culture in a way. You know, most teenagers can't live without one. Another example would be cell phones, and now the new smartphone. Mine's is cheap, but yeah. Um, yeah, and as for the question whether the library should be called Starbucks Library, I don't think it should, because that would be as endorsing it in a way. Like, it would be, people would think that Starbucks is giving money to the library so that it takes the name Starbucks Library, which would just be weird, because I'm not a Starbucks fan. And don't get angry that I am not a Starbucks fan. I just don't drink coffee. But anyways, yeah, it shouldn't be that. And I just realized that this is 8 minutes long, so hopefully I don't have to cut any of this. But my opinion on Eva and Franco is that so far I find them strangely amazing, if that's a word. But maybe in the further weeks, they'll probably change my opinion in them. Yeah. So, I guess I'll see you later.